Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Bo.
No, I'm Gage, and this is
The Brain Dead Podcast. So how's it going?
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm pretty tired, but
I felt that.
I felt that for realsies.
For realsies.
For realsies. Oh yeah, you had work, right?
Huh?
You're at work today, right?
Yeah, I had to work.
Whack.
Got off of work, got in the shower, got ready, and then went to a funeral. My uncle died last week.
He did pass? Oh shit, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
I mean,
I remember you were saying.
I wasn't super close, to be honest. Like it was pretty emotional at like the wedding. I mean, the fucking wedding, the fucking funeral.
Ay. Oy, yay.
Wrong ceremony.
Event.
Wrong event. It was pretty emotional at the funeral. Just he was like a family member that I kind of like wish I like got to know, just because he was really cool. He was the one that kind of was like into drag racing and whatnot, and he was cool. But like I didn't really know him.
You didn't know him. I'm not gonna lie. That's I told you my uncle just passed away.
Yeah.
A month ago. It's kind of weird. It's kind of how I felt. Like he was really cool, but I hadn't seen him since I was like 7.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe when I was like 13. Maybe when I went up to New York last time. But
he was a really cool guy though, because like he was a Vietnam vet, and once he got back, he was like all about family, and he was like he apparently his son said this at the funeral, whenever his son was graduating high school, he went out to Colorado with a friend and bought a I forget, I think he said 3747 International pickup truck.
Oh, International.
Yeah.
No, sorry, International. I just always think of Ethan because Ethan like loves internationals.
Yeah, like International, like the Scout. What?
No, I know. It's just that made me just think about I didn't even know anything about them until I met Ethan.
I still don't really know. I just know the International Scout just kind of looks like an off-brand Bronco.
I've always just been told that they are so cool because they're just so shitty. That's what I've always been.
Yeah, I've been told that they're basically like a fucking Willis Jeep, but like they look good.
Yeah, it's kind of right. And they're always dying in someone's yard.
Yeah,
that's what I've always been told.
But like he went out to Colorado to
acquire this vehicle.
To acquire it. Got back. They were fixing it up. Apparently, whenever they got like just about done, he like cut his finger with an angle grinder like really fucking bad, and he was bleeding everywhere. And it was like, "Oh, we got to take you to the hospital." And he was like, "No, we gotta finish this." And wrapped his fucking finger up with like with a rag and like some electrical tape and whatnot. And it was like, "Fuck it, don't care. We're finishing it." And like got done with it. And was like, all right, I'm going to the ER. You go to sleep.
Word.
Yeah, no, he was a very family first man, and I very much respect that.
Mad respect.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned it on the podcast. He actually gave me the opportunity to get into drag racing.
Oh, that was that uncle.
Yeah. But my little bitch self didn't want to because I was scared of speed.
Don't worry, you're still a bitch. It's okay.
Well, I know.
You're a big bitch now. That's all that matters. We're all big bitches.
Yeah, but I mean, it was sad, but like at the same time, it was like I don't really hold like a very strong emotional connection to him, so it's not like
you kind of it's a very weird feeling because you're like that like the aura around you is sadness, but you're just kind of like. I don't want to be rude and like fake sadness.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. 95% of the people there were people that I didn't know.
You didn't, yeah.
I legit don't know if they're family, friends, random people that come in.
They party crash funeral.
I guess I don't know, but it's kind of cool. I got to see my cousin Cole that I haven't seen in years. Like last time I seen him, he was a little short fat fuck, and now he looks like a fucking country music singer. Yeah, he went to Ren, and he very much looks like a kid that went to Ren.
Word, mad respect.
Yeah. Then got home, watched some Top Gear, fell asleep, and didn't realize I fell asleep for as long as I did. Like I think I probably fell asleep somewhere around 2 because I got home at like 1:30 and didn't wake up until my girl got home.
Shit, so like 6:50.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean, I worked last night.
No, I mean, I know, but damn, I wish I could do that.
No, and the bad thing is I probably won't go to sleep tonight or until late.
Tis what tis. Tis what tis.
So, what'd you do today?
What did I do today? Actually, that, you remember that car I was telling you about? I think it might have been on the last podcast, might have been on the last episode. I put a motor in that 4Motion Tiguan I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Dude, their motor is bad. The motor that this guy went and bought is bad. So
what?
it does.
I mean, he did buy like what, a $300 motor?
No. It was a $3,000 motor.
Oh damn, that sucks.
CCTAs, because it's very funny because they're such a crap motor. For some reason, buying replacements are so expensive. They're usually like $3,000 to $4,000 because they're so commonly like needed. Because they always have like.
Couldn't be me.
Because they have so many internal, like they just have internal issues all the time. Long story short, it is doing the exact same thing where the original guy's motor was like the oil light kept coming on. This one, the oil pressure light comes on, but it's very weird. If you yank it all the way to the right, oil pressure drops like 2 bar. Check engine light comes on, oil light comes on, and it's like
while driving.
Like if you literally, we found out if you go to
it's like an oil slosh issue almost.
That's the thing. We looked at the pickup. We looked at the baffles fine, the pan. Everything's like fine. What we think, and we called.
You tested the oil pump?
Like yeah, well it's you can't really. It's not really something.
Is it a mechanical one?
Yeah, it's spun off like the crank gear, so it's like it's a completely internal. We found not that we found because that's the thing. The thing is it's like we're trying to figure out what the issue is, but at the same time, it's not our fucking problem. We didn't buy this motor. This guy bought the motor on his own and brought it.
Is he making it your problem? Like, put it in.
Not
it's your
necessarily.
Problem.
It's the.
Or is he just being like, hey, it's fucked up. Could y'all like?
Well, see, that's the thing is he's trying to get it warranted because there's a warranty for it. But the warranty people are like fucking asshats.
Who the fuck did he buy the engine from?
I don't know. I don't remember. You get warranties all the time if you buy like a transmission from somewhere. You buy a warrant.
Huh.
I mean, shit.
I don't know. I've never really bought an engine from anybody. The only time I ever bought an engine was when I bought a whole fucking truck. So
I'm pretty sure whenever my boss, whenever we sell anything out of like our parts cars, like big boy, like transmission or motor, I'm pretty sure we do like a 40-day warranty. Because obviously,
that's nice.
As something does happen, but you do it in this time frame, all right, we'll try and make good what we can. But long story short, yeah. So hold it all the way to the right, literally just doing donuts in parking lots basically, and it'll drop pressure, light will come on, and it'll literally start going like it's like starving of oil.
Yeah, what the fuck? Huh?
And I
would imagine that'd have to be an oil pump though.
So we were talking.
Unless there's for some reason, a clog in the oil line.
Well, and that's the thing. They tore down and looked through everything. Well, we could without basically tearing down the motor.
Interesting.
Like check timing. Timing was fine. The cams were good.
Would time have to do anything with oil pressure?
I mean, technically it could because, like I said, it's spun off the crank. So if it's out of time.
I mean, I guess.
That's if teeth. I don't know how this would happen, but like if the teeth got destroyed and now it's not spinning like it. I mean, again, it could be. But what we think after like kind of doing research and all that, we think that the thrust bearing for the crankshaft is worn, and it's allowing to where you do that, it causes enough tension that it's allowing the crank to legitimately like.
So it's got crank walk.
In a weird way, it's funny, when we were talking about it, I didn't say that, but I was kind of thinking to myself, it kind of feels like this car has crank walk.
That's funny.
But again, it's annoying because I feel bad for my boss because it's like he's being the good guy that he is, but at the end of the day, dude, you gave us the motor, we put it in.
That's why like I would love to own a like motorsports shop or a shop in general, but like I feel like I'd be too fucking nice. I would bite the bullet on too much shit and then lose a lot of fucking money.
That's what sucks. Like I've been realizing, like learning and just like watching, it is a battle every day.
Like I think I praise my parents for raising me to be a good human being. It's shown to be a good thing in 90% of my life. But at the same time, it means that I don't say no a lot. So in that kind of instance, I can't be like, not my problem, dude.
I mean, well, see, and again, that's what's annoying is it's like, again, the guy's just trying to get it warrantied. So the warranty, my boss talked to the warranty company. We're going through this, checking this. They were like, for us to warranty out, you need to put all the original parts that were on the motor. And it was like, are you talking about the bad intake manifold that we had to replace? Are you talking about it needing a water pump and a thermostat? Because again, this motor had sat for who knows how long. Like your warranty said, we had to replace the radiator, the coolant lines, ECT sensors, the water pump and thermostat. For it to get warrantied out, you need to have those parts back. What? Like it's bullshit shit. So they don't have to fulfill their duties. But I think they're like figuring out stuff, and we're gonna see where it goes. But it's just it's very crazy. I thought it was very funny. My boss he rigged up a really cool like T-hose fitting to where we could still run the oil pressure sensor, and he ran a line like an oil line to an oil pressure gauge so we could physically watch the pressure, and like we would whip it to the right, and we looked it up, and I talked to some of my VW buddies, and factory for that is between like 2.5 to 4 bar. And whenever it would drop, dude, it would go to like 1 bar.
Jesus.
Like
that's a
big drop.
That's a pretty significant.
Yeah, so that's
drop.
why it's a weird one, man. It's a really weird. It's interesting because again, you could literally yank it and it'll
German engineering.
And then you straighten out and it'll like and like run fine. It's super weird.
See, that right there is the part of German cars that has for the majority of my life kind of just been like, I don't know. I think I'll play the safe bet and just buy a fucking Japanese car that I know will fucking work.
See, but the annoying thing is the worst part, I think, that comes to like Euro and German cars and things like that is a lot of people just don't know. So they just kind of say...
Yeah, and that's another thing is like whenever you see a mom and pop shop, they mainly deal with Japanese and domestic. They usually don't really touch a lot of European stuff.
But it's funny if it's...
European stuff is a lot different.
And it's funny because if you look at independent shops, if they touch like Japanese, they'll touch a bunch of stuff. They'll do Honda, Toyota, Lexus, like Acura, Infinity. They'll do a wide range. But like most of the time, from what I've noticed,
German shops are usually like very specific.
They usually will only touch like Volkswagen or Audi, Mercedes,
BMW
Mini Cooper, or Land Rover, Range Rover, things like that. Like they'll only look at like specific things. I've kind of noticed that like kind of.
Well, I think it's mainly because I don't want to say they're complicated because being in a Volkswagens now, I realize that they're not as complicated as it seems. But they do have like their weird quirky shit. Like,
I mean, it's also like, I mean, but again, at the same time, it's in the sense of, it's just how Germans build cars. It's how their design and how their quality goes in. That's just really, I mean, it comes down to like American. American is pretty simple. How they build stuff, if you think about it. It's very simple.
We've had the same tech since the fucking 40s. Just kind of moderately updated.
Moderately updated with more emissions.
Yeah.
But then you look at like Japanese.
Honestly, I think emissions is honestly like, as much as I hate emissions, which thankfully we don't have to worry about in South Carolina.
Rock on.
Yeah, thank God. But I honestly, I kind of feel like emission shit that happened in the, what was it, the 60s? Or not 60s.
70s.
70s.
It was like, I think it was 70s, technically
Anyway,
80s.
the emission shit that happened on
the standards for running catalytic systems.
Yeah, mid 20th century.
Decades ago.
Yeah, the one that happened long before we were born. I honestly, I kind of feel like it kind of like helped progress the American muscle or like domestic cars in general, because like it's kind of pushed us to be like, okay, how do we reinvent the wheel?
How do we make it more efficient?
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like how me and you were talking about.
Because otherwise we'd probably still be driving 6-liter V8s that only make 200 horsepower.
Well, it's like remember how, okay, so, and I don't know if I don't think I talked about this on the podcast. Me and Bodie the other day were talking about, we had saw a B6 S4, and I just was like, I was talking about, it's really cool to think that a V8 car in the 2000s was in the 400 range, 400 horsepower range.
I remember that,
yeah, because if you look at it, literally, let's take one of the most famous platforms to have a V8. Let's look at the Mustang. The 302 back in like 1966, 1967, probably made like 300 horsepower, something like that. I don't know the official liter, but was probably like a...
Well, considering it was a 302...
It's got to be like a 5...
It'd probably be like a 5-liter, yeah.
Probably, again,
around a 5-liter.
It's got to be roughly there.
Yeah.
But it probably got like...
a 350 is what a...
5.3? No.
Actually, yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's what... Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's what the... I don't know. Look it up.
I don't know. Well...
Here, I'll look it up.
You look it up. But either way, so we were talking about it, and it's very interesting. It's kind of cool to see, again, how he talked about like the progression in cars.
Oops,
well,
sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
It's
I tooted.
But it's interesting because if you look, like for instance, like I was saying, the Mustang, you look in the 60s and the 70s, or the 60s, all the high horsepower V8s everywhere, this and this and that. And then you look at, then you go to...
Yeah, so a 350 is a 5.7.
Oh, shit, yeah. So 5.7 big liter. Big-ish liter. How much was the 302? Because I'm curious, since we're...
It was a 5-liter.
Okay, so there we go. So it was 5.0. That's pretty cool that they've stayed to 5.0. So...
It's probably just a heritage thing.
Yeah, basically. But then you look into like the 70s and the 80s when catalytic systems were required, and like emission standards were like set across the board for any automaker. All these cars, all these V8s got like just choked the fuck out. Like again, look at the Mustang.
Look what they did to my boy.
Look what they did to my boy.
What was it, Mustang 2?
Yeah.
Honestly though, I like the looks of the Mustang 2. I think
the Cobra is the pretty cool one. The Cobra is...
No, I think in general. I mean, yeah, the Cobra looked pretty cool. But I think in general, the Mustang 2 looked pretty cool. You remember that Mustang 2 that was on Marketplace with the RB26 in it? That's pretty fucking badass.
I mean, that's the thing I think is pretty cool. It'd be a really cool, like, donor body for something.
No, honestly, I don't understand. Why don't people use that body? Because, like, it was pretty light, right?
I have no idea. You got to think it's back in the...
small. Like, it was like the size of a Fox body.
I mean, you got to think, man, it's back in the day. So even if it was quote-unquote small, it's probably all steel.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I was about to say, you got to think it's back in the day. But
fucking
then
heavy boy.
So, but again, you look at the Mustang 2, then look at the Fox. Still a 5.0 V8.
Shit, they even had 4 cylinders in them, right?
They had 4 cylinders. I think they had 4-cylinder turbos.
Yeah.
But again, so look at the 5.0 V8 that made like 190 horsepower, like 200 horsepower, like, and it's like, oh my god. But then you go to the 90s.
Yeah, back in the day, that was like, damn, that's a lot of power.
Holy shamoly.
Fast forward to the early 2000s when we have fucking Supras making 1,000.
But you look at SN97 in the 90s, which again made like 230, 240, being a 4.7 or a 5.0 and like a Cobra. Again, mid 200s, and then you look in the early 2000s, the new Edge S197, which I don't know if there's a lot of updates. I don't know if there was any updates on the 2-valve. It might have just been body and like just looks. But look at I can never remember the S1. S1.
What, the generation?
Three valve body. What is it?
S197.
That's S197.
Yeah, because you had the S197 that was
Oh,
three valve.
S195. I'm wrong.
S197.
No, but I accidentally said 97 when I meant to say 95. Yeah.
S197's like what
Ding Dong.
Dipshit had.
Ricky Stenicki.
Yeah, Ricky Stenicki had. And then they facelifted it with the first 5.0.
Yeah.
That was the first Coyote.
They facelifted it, had a 3 valve, and then it went to the 5.0. Yeah. But again, you look at that being a 3 valve, that made like 300 horsepower, probably low 300s if I was willing to bet.
Mm.
And that car came out I think in 2006, I believe. It was like 2006, 2007.
I don't know.
It was
Mustangs
mid 2000s.
Like
it was mid 2000s. Again, you look at
mid late.
You look at a B6 4.2.
Mm-hmm.
Shit made like 400 horsepower. Like it's just I don't know. And again, like what
from a much smaller engine.
From a much smaller engine, and then for another good German V8 car. Look at the M3.
Oh yeah.
Which one is that? The E90.
Believe so.
I'm not
E90.
I'm not very
E90.
I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable when it comes to chassis.
I don't fucking know. I don't.
But the M3 V8.
I don't know anything over E46.
But again, it's just I think it's really cool how you can look at different people not different people, different automakers and see how they did what they could when it came to emissions, and you could see how some guys just didn't prevail too well.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at other automakers and knock it out of the park. I mean, to bring it back to what you were saying, look at Japanese cars. They were like, well, we have to run small liter. What can we do with this?
Yeah.
Per better induction, more.
Well, they also had the gentleman's agreement. Yeah.
The fakey agreement, as I call it.
The gentleman agreement in quotes.
The gentleman's agreement, as everybody had their fingers crossed behind their back.
Yeah. I find that fucking hilarious.
They said,
though.
okay, wink.
Yeah, we got you. We will definitely keep it at like.
If you say so.
What was it, like 260? I think that was what it was. It was like 260.
No. It was 370.
I don't think.
It was 270. It was 270. Because I remember the number was like right off of 300, and it was like all these cars made like a little bit more than that, but then you took off restrictors and they made a good bit more than that. I think it was 270. I don't know why, but I feel like 7 was in there. I could be wrong, but I swear I feel like it's 270.
Oh fuck!
Because that's like high enough to where that sounds like a good number, but again, it's not 300.
Mm-hmm.
You better find it quick.
It was 276.
Yeah. Okay. See, that's what I knew. I knew it was like some number that like sounds like it's high.
Yeah, they limited power to 276 horsepower and could only go up to 112 miles an hour, which, goddamn, that's slow.
Actually, technically, no, that's wrong because it'd be kilometers.
I know, but that was the...
No, but I'm just curious. I'm just thinking, like, obviously...
It was 180 kilometers.
Okay.
But it also translates to
okay. No, I didn't know. Yeah, no, I didn't know if that was a statement of, like, miles per hour, but non-converted from kilometers, or that was converted.
It was converted.
That's what I was curious. Something else that... a little fun fact that we learned. So, I think we talked about it on the other podcast. Bodie, we're doing a black interior swap on his wagon. And recently, I was hanging out with a friend of mine in my garage, and we were just shooting the shit. One of my, the OGs, Ethan, the big dog, and I was like, we're doing this. I just finished this on my car, and I was like, oh yeah, we're doing a black interior swap on Bodie's, and he went, huh, really? And I said, yeah. He was like, was it like cloth interior? And I was like, yeah. He was like, gray, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, did it have the gray lower dash? And I was like, yeah. He was like, holy cow. And I was like, what? And he was like, that is a very rare interior. And I was like, I mean, come on. I was like, it's like cloth interior. He was like, there was like literally only 300 made. And I was like, holy cow. I was like, well, that shit's sitting in a dump right now. So
yeah, well, it's gone now. Bye-bye.
That's that's just so funny.
I mean, I still got the front seats and the back part of the back seats.
500.
Anybody want
a grand?
Anybody
best offer.
$25,000
or better offer. But
Come get it.
See, that's the shit. That's the shit that I love, like about like just fucking cars. Because like for instance, I learned this, and
Not gonna lie though, still gonna fucking swap
still
that shit.
Yeah, because that's what's annoying.
Fuck gray cloth interior on a fucking silver car.
Yeah, no, like I was saying, if it was on like a black car or like.
Honestly though, if it was like if I wrapped it like Blue Lagoon, maybe.
Actually, that'd be kind of cool. I didn't think about that. Like do it instead of like a factory colored.
Or like the what's the blue on the Mark V R32s? Is that Blue Lagoon or
no? That's not Blue Lagoon. That's
anyway, but that blue.
Is it Jazz Blue?
I don't know.
Jazz Blue.
Anyway, but that blue, I'd be more okay with it.
That would, honestly,
I would still rather have black, but
that would honestly look really cool. Ooh, and if you went and found a cloth beetle headrest,
oh yeah,
that'd look kind of cool. That'd be a pretty sick interior.
Still though, gonna swap that fucking black leather interior, baby.
But yeah, no, just thought it was super funny. I thought that was super fucking interesting. So funny on that note, I might be buying another Mark V, possibly. It's in the works. I'm currently would like to purchase it. It's a very, very cool, and again, I feel bad. I know we always talk about Volkswagens, but
look, all right, you gotta come here for the Volkswagen.
You're gonna hear Volkswagens no matter what. But it's really cool. So
this is Volkswagen propaganda.
And oh yeah, 100%. Get with it. You don't get out. But so I've been learning. So because obviously, as it is with all vehicles, different countries, different places got different options, different things like that. So I've been learning more and more about my Mark V. Well, this black one I might be purchasing because it's an early. With Mark Vs, they're very weird. The early ones, the early years, got really cool, really rare options that for some reason they just phased everything out. Funny enough, the newer they got, the more shit got phased out. So like mine has Climatronic. It has has the multifunction cluster, which isn't very common. That was in, again, very early years, or GTIs and GLIs and R32s. But I've just been learning about like what across the world, what different options and things got. So I found out in Canada, they all got dash cubbies. You know how I've been trying to like I want to buy a dash cubby to put in the car. I found out they got dash cubbies. Another thing that I learned, in Europe, the R32, there was an option for no buttons on the steering wheel. So it was a clean, like
so basically like my wheel.
Yeah, it literally like a factory wheel. And I kind of like it. It's much cooler in my opinion because
Does it look any different?
I mean, no, it looks same. Still flat body, still like leather wrapped.
Oh, so it's
perforated
like,
leather.
So it's like the GLI GTI
it's
R32 wheel, but just with no buttons.
No buttons. Because because the thing is, you can't swap those buttons out. They're like made to like go in there. Only button cars will work with if you try to swap them out. Because I tried doing that, and the like blank faces will not go into cars that have buttons on the steering wheel.
Word.
And then another thing that I learned that I just again more shit that I've just been because again I like this shit. This is what makes me like happy because it's like like you're just learning random shit. ECS tuning, as much as I fucking hate them because of their customer service, I've never had a good experience with them. Every time I've tried, it's never had a good experience. So you can take my word with it or don't, whatever. I just never have a good experience with them. I will give it to them. They had a lot of cool stuff on their website that was like OEM plus oriented. So like you could buy factory options instead of having to try and search it or know what you're looking for. So like for instance, like you could go since like me and Bodie, we both have wood trim swapped in our car, which again was like an early option. You can buy the shift knob. You can go buy the shift knob. Well, you could see that's what I think is really funny. You can go on there, and it's there, but it says no longer available. So they used to sell it, but not anymore. You could also buy like in Europe. I don't know if it was considered that here, but on the Mark V GTIs there was 30th anniversary. In Europe, they had a really cool like shift knob. It's like kind of like looks like a brushed aluminum, and that's what when I do a 6-speed swap, if I buy this car, because I have a transmission that I'm probably gonna try and acquire because it's very easy for me to acquire.
By the way, did you see that? I don't really know. I don't really I couldn't quite understand the post, but I think it was in Burn All the Mark Vs. It was a post about I want to say it was a European Mark 5 automatic or DSG,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like the golf ball.
Huh? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I seen it the other day. I was gonna get on Marketplace, and that was like the first thing in my feed.
Huh? No, honestly, you know what we should do, which I think would be kind of cool at the end of the podcast. We should go on BFI and like, cause you can build your own knobs. That's like the best part.
Oh, really?
And shit. Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
you
shit,
can.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. If we wanted to, we could do that at the end of the podcast. We could, cause you can go down to like the boot, the stitching color in the boot, the texture of the boot. Like that's what.
That's pretty cool.
I was gonna say, yeah. If you wanted to, as like a fun, like let's just see what we both get out of it. We can both build our own and then like compare and show.
Word.
Because I've never done it. I've always just gone on there and looked, but I've never actually like built what I wanted. But yeah, no, it was really cool. Like just learning and seeing what options across the world got. Like, so the one that I have, it has tunnel lights, which me and him just recently learned. That was only 1 year on the early generation Mark V. But for some reason after that, they went to the regular headlight switch and the tunnel lights and all that. That was only a European option. And I've tried looking it up to try and find it. It doesn't exist. Every time you look up Euro switch, you just get the usual brushed chrome specialty Euro lights. You cannot find one like the one that's in that car. It's so cool. That's what I love about that shit. Oh, actually, sorry, this is another thing. I'm really hyped about this just because I thought this was fucking cool. So last year, I want to say it was last year. It was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. I mean, it might have been a year and a half ago. There was a Cabrio that I believe was found. It was a quote unquote barn find, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I remember the pictures very clearly. The car was super dusty and it had been sitting a very, very long time. It is a VR6 swapped, twin turbo, all-wheel drive swap. HPA built.
In a Cabrio?
In a Cabrio.
God damn.
It is super fucking cool. And it's HPA build, but it's an old school HPA build. So I want to say it's got to be from the 2000s. Oh, and it's sitting on BBS LMs. The car is sick. The car is awesome.
That's pretty fucking cool.
It's super fucking cool. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it was a barn find, and everybody was losing their mind over this car because it's a period correct car. It's a twin turbo setup on a VR swapped cat. It's just everything about it is cool. And I don't know if you remember, we saw it at Helen last year. I was geeking over it, man. That car is super fucking cool. But I just found out today it is for sale in South Carolina.
How much?
Guess. Just guess. I'm just curious. Just think about it. For one, the car is mint. It's 12 valve swapped. HPA twin turbo setup. It only makes 400 horsepower. But you got to think, this build was in the 2000s.
400 in a fucking Cabrio is fucking 1,000 in a Corvette.
Yeah, and you got to think twins. So that means, and now I don't know if it's true twins or if it's a what's it called, a small
sequential.
Yeah, where
fuck, what the hell?
But you know what I'm talking about.
Not sequential. Fucking. I know what you're talking about.
But you know
Compound.
Yeah, compound turbo. Yeah, I don't know what the setup is, but it's a twin turbo setup, and I'm not sure if it's I want to say it's actually a true synchro setup, old school all-wheel drive Volkswagen. I think it's not. I don't think it's a 4Motion setup. So. And the guy apparently just recently had all the coolant radiator hoses replaced, everything so. Just guess. What do you think?
Is it give me a hint. Is it outlandish?
In my opinion, it's not outlandish. It's pretty Think about this. How much do boosted? I've told you how much stock Mark IV R32s go for, right?
No.
They're usually in the high teens, almost sometimes 20, depending on how nice. Well, sorry. They're usually in the low to mid-teens. If they're boosted or built or anything crazy setups, they're usually in the high teens, almost 20. So thinking about this cabbie, what would you think it is?
25.
Close. It's a little bit lower.
A little bit lower. 22.
Right on the money. He's asking 22.
And what generation cabby is it?
It's Mark 3.
Oh, Mark 3.
Yeah, it's Mark 3.
Okay. I didn't know if it was the Mark 1 or 2 or whatever the fuck it is.
No such thing as Mark 2.
I thought there was no such thing as a Mark 3.
No. No such thing as Mark 2.
Remember? So is there a Mark 3?
Mm-hmm, there's Mark 1s, there's Mark 3s. All cabbies after Mark 1s just kept, they were basically, as I was told and I've been shown, they were basically like parts bins cars. So they just kept getting like a bunch of stuff, like fender flares, different steering wheels, different this, different that. Also, I learned this. The cabbie was the first Volkswagen to get an airbag.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I just learned that the other day. Remember that cabbie that came into the shop that I was telling you about, that had like the mint paint job?
Yeah.
They were teaching me, because I was asking a bunch of questions about it. They were showing me and teaching me. I actually did an oil change on it. It was pretty funky. They were teaching me a bunch of stuff. Cabbies were the first Volkswagen to get an airbag. I think that's the craziest fucking thing. Like it wasn't a Golf, it wasn't a Jetta, it wasn't a Passat, it wasn't any of these like famously economy commuter flagship cars. No, it was the little bitch basket. It was the bitch basket that got an airbag first. I think that's so funny. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm ordering DoorDash.
Are you fucking kidding?
I'm hungry.
What are you getting?
I'm getting Taco Bell. You want some?
Actually, I kind of... Sure, fuck it.
What do you want?
I just want a quesadilla.
You just want a quesadilla? Chicken quesadilla?
Chicken quesadilla. Ooh, can you give me a freezy, too?
Oh, my God.
The wild strawberry. Sorry for technical difficulty.
You want wild strawberry?
Yeah, I would prefer blue... Dude, some bullshit. Nobody has blue raspberry anymore.
You said wild strawberry?
Yeah, wild strawberry. Nobody has blue raspberry anymore.
It's fucking lame.
Dude, I know. That's like... Because I'm not going to...
It's like the stereotypical slushy flavor.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck
I mean, and I'm not going to lie.
Anymore?
I usually get a lot of hate for this. I'm not a huge fan of Baja Blast.
I'm not a huge fan of the government. Yeah. You're fucking retarded for that one.
I get like, this is how it tastes to me every time. When I take that first sip, it hits hard, but then after that, it doesn't hit. Every time. I get the blast of Baja in the first sip. After that, no more.
I've only ever met one man that doesn't like Baja Blast, and he is a crippled old bitch.
I do feel old.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I do feel old and crippled.
So you just want a chicken quesadilla and then a strawberry freeze?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking pay me for this one.
I'll pay you in high fives.
Because I'm buying fucking Chase a empanada.
That's so funny.
Let's see. How much is the empanada? $4.62. And then...
Damn, can I just pay you in hand jobs?
No.
Come on. It's not fair. It's bullshit.
I'm sorry, I have to do this fucking math. 462 plus... Oh, fuck. What the fuck was it? 426 plus...
It's like 888.
645. Is that it? Oh, plus the strawberry freeze.
It's like $15. Sounds like $15-16. Huey. You can cut all this out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you owe me $20.
$20? Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you have to tell Chase they couldn't make it, and then just get them to.
Oh my God, it's gonna be $62 altogether. Oh my fucking God.
Oh my fucking God.
Oh my fucking God.
You weak.
God, dude.
Yeah, we sassy, and you not giving.
What the fuck does it even mean, bro?
I don't know. It's awesome. Yeah, we sassy, and you not giving.
Dude, my savings account hurts.
I felt that. Well.
Why the fuck did you cash at me $66?
Huh?
Why did you cash at me 66?
I didn't cash app.
Oh, wait, no, it showed me the total that I have in my cash app.
I was about to say, I didn't cash app you $66.
I was about to say, you motherfuckers.
I want that back!
Too late, you already gave it to me.
Too late, I already spent it on 66 thing.
Sorry, bro, I already spent it on big old dildos.
Sorry, dude, I already bought V-Bucks. Sorry, bro, fork knife.
What is this, the fucking intermission music? We'll be back with you in a moment.
We'll be back with you in a moment.
In the meantime, listen to
Mac Morris.
Mark Morris. Or is it?
Just like Lane Staley's fake arm. Look it up.
It's just like how I thought Lane Staley was Lane Stanley.
Stanley Steamer.
Stanley Steamer, just your home cleaner. Alright, are you ready to resume? Alright, a little something that I want to talk about because I found out about it on TikTok the other day. I thought it was really cool and kind of terrifying.
That's pretty terrifying.
So Figure One has partnered with BMW and it's using OpenAI. And they are making basically a humanoid robot to help with production of vehicles.
How many people are you going to think have sex with it?
Me.
So that's...
I don't fuck that robot, bro.
Let me do the number. That's 1.
You got one. You got one.
You got one teammate, player.
You got one strong customer, bro.
I've already placed that order.
How much is it? 200,000?
I can get a loan.
Shit, I mean...
I can buy a house.
I could sell a nut.
I could sell my body.
Anybody want to buy feet pics?
Anybody want to buy toe pics?
Yeah. Anyway, so I seen a video of it. It's basically like Figure One's like test video, basically. Mm-hmm. And they asked the robot, I'm hungry. Could you hand me something to eat? And the robot is in front of this table, and it's got like a plate with an apple on it, a drink beside it, and then a drying rack with some dishes in it. Mm-hmm. And the robot was like, "Okay, sure," and then picks up the apple and hands it to the guy. And it was like, the dude asked, "Was like, okay, can you clean up the dishes?" Motherfucker picks up the cup and the plate, puts it in a drying rack, and the dude also was like, do you think you completed the task right? So the motherfucker is multitasking. Motherfucker's sitting there having a conversation about, well, I handed you the only thing that I found edible on the table. But here's the weird thing. I swear to God, it sounds like one-to-one to a human being talking. It's fucking crazy. Like, dude was stuttering. The robot was stuttering, like pausing in between like sentences. Motherfucker even said like I think I did pretty good.
This just sounds like slavery.
Dude,
steps.
It's fucking terrifying, but at the same time, it's so fucking cool. Like
we're gonna die in 10 years.
And here's the cool thing: BMW, South Carolina, Spartanburg. The one close to us.
Shout out Spartanburg.
The one close to us is apparently getting at least one. I don't know.
Are they gonna show it off?
Probably. I mean,
yeah.
It's BMW. They're gonna show off. They're gonna be like, "Get the fuck out! We're the fucking number one."
Check out the robot.
He plays sick beat.
Check me out.
No, it'd probably be like more like Rammstein. Du hast mich.
Yes, that's the real secret of this robot. It's not built to help humankind. It's built to be the perfect DJ.
Yeah, it doesn't run on battery. It runs off of sick Ramstein tunes. But no, I thought it was really cool that we'll even see it as close as Spartanburg. Because I mean, like that's a big step in like
Future
modernizing the workplace.
Mm-hmm.
But
no, let's not pay our people more money because they need more, or help them out in their benefits.
Yeah, I'm not.
Let's make a robot to take over for their fucking job.
The comments on the video scene were pretty funny because like nine out of 10 people that were commenting were like, he's gonna get laid off because he's not fast enough.
That's awesome.
Because BMW is like really fucking bad about that shit. It's like, oh, you're not working fast enough. I'm sorry, bud, but we hope you succeed in your future endeavors, but we don't need you anymore.
BMW famously doesn't see their people as people; they see them as just numbers on a paper.
Yeah.
Now their dreams are coming true. They can go, Robot 47. Why was your quantity low today? Sorry, batteries were low. New batteries, please.
All right, that's it. We're replacing you.
No. Next one in. Somebody bring me a Roomba. Sir,
bro got replaced by fucking Roomba.
Sir, we're all out of robots. Fuck. And there's just a Roomba just.
Imagine that though. Like, imagine you work at BMW. You're like you're a hardcore veteran. You've been working there for several years, and you get laid off
for a robot.
For a fucking robot.
Honestly, you know, even
imagine how fucking pissed you'd be.
You know, it'd be really funny. It'd be funny if like the robot went, but again, it was just one because it probably cost a shit ton to make. Oh,
dude, I can't
but it'd be
imagine.
funny if they put him on the line, and because of his AI, he tries to like, how about that game Saturday, right? And they're all like, what are you talking about? He goes, well,
according to my database,
I just recently, I saw that the Patriots won by 32 points. And be like, but how did you?
Hell yeah, brother.
You're just like, I don't watch the Patriots. What team do you like? I don't really watch football. What sports do you like? Like he's just consistently just.
I'm more of a mud wrestling kind of guy.
Looking up mud wrestling.
You have a sick taste, you human being.
Wow, there's a lot of naked people.
Most of them morbidly obese.
Most of them fat and covered in mud. This is a fun game.
That's the beauty of mud wrestling right there. I tell you what, that ain't nothing no goddamn programmer can teach you.
But then people just start messing with it, and the AI just starts getting corrupted. Not to be like Terminator, but just because it gets mad because people just keep bullying it. They're just like, I'm trying to think, what's that movie? They're like, hey, have you ever seen the movie I, Robot? And he goes, no, I haven't. Holy shit, that's mean. I think that'd be pretty interesting. That'd be kind of funny to watch.
That'd be kind of funny.
Most indubitably.
You got anything else? I'm not gonna lie, I've been lacking today. That was the only thing I had.
So this is a very cool little tidbit. So we have this car at the shop right now, and Passat. It's a Passat B4 wagon. B4 is one of the ones in the 90s, late 90s, mid. Well, because the B5 came out in 99, I believe. So it'd be like mid to kind of late 90s. Mm-hmm. It's a 95, but the really cool thing is it's actually from Germany. It was imported from Germany. The couple that owned it were missionaries over there in Germany, and they loved their car so much they got it imported back. And it's like the perfect spec. It's like purple. It's like this really cool purple, non-sunroof, manual windows, no power windows. And the weird thing is it has like some light touches. Like someone did some stuff to it. Like there's like a cool like 90s looking like kind of like silver Pioneer radio. has some aftermarket wheels. I cannot tell what the brand is. It's like BM.
I've seen those before.
MS Ben.
The pictures you're showing me, I've seen them before.
But it's like
they look like shit. Honestly, I hate them.
I will say this: you want to know how that would look better on rubber bands lower.
Rubber bands.
Oh, we got to do rubber bands.
On rubber bands on bigger wheels.
Honestly, my BBS
Bro's running the fucking 14 inches.
My BBS RXs on that would have looked really fucking nice.
I still don't like those wheels.
You're fucking retarded.
No, I'm not. I just have good taste.
You have shit taste. You didn't even know that your interior is rare as fuck. You just trashed it.
That's because I got good taste. Who the fuck wants some fucking gray cloth interior?
But the really cool thing...
I could go buy a fucking Nissan Versa and probably get that.
Doubt it. Nissan doesn't take care of their cars. You probably have to pay extra for the interior.
It doesn't matter if it's taken care of.
But the really cool and like weird thing is, so in the States, we didn't have like a lot of options. We only had 2.0s, 1.9 turbo diesels, and we had 2.8 VR6s. The motor it has is a 1.8, very similar to like the 1.8 that was in like Mark 1s. But it's like a more modernized setup. So instead of like a weird, so back in the day it was called CIS, and it was like a kind of like fuel carbureted injection system. It was very, very, very old school styling, very old school setup. But this is like a more modernized. I mean, obviously it's in the 90s, so it's literally 30 years old. But it was a more modernized version of that motor, and it's really cool. It's really, and like for instance, so it had alternator problems, and we were all like, well, or the alternator pulley was bad, so we were like, well, what do we do? Because we didn't have this motor. We don't have any parts cars in our yard. So we did some research and we're like trying to cross check, and we found out a 2.0 from an an alternator from a 2.0 ABA motor. The alternator's the same. Throw that on, bada bing, bada boom. And it's dumb easy. I have never gotten to do an alternator that was so easy on a car. It took like 30 minutes.
That's fucking nice.
It sits like right up front, like right on top.
Where's the alternators I've done? Fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Most of the time you're having to get in a weird angle and having to pop off the bed. Dude, it literally, I was able to just get a vice wrench.
Vice grip.
Yeah, vice grip. Put that on, pull the pulley back, take off the belt, take it off, take it off, disconnect, take the ground cable off, boom, put the new one on, connect everything, done. It was so easy. It was like hilariously easy. But nah, man, this car, it's so cool, dude. It's so cool. And I just like the story behind it too. Like we were trying. I also had to do an oil change on it. So like we were like trying to see who else had serviced it and what was the oil weight. Like what oil weight were they putting on? Man, I saw records from Germany, and everything was in German, and like just all this like it was like a Volkswagen manual for the Passat, but again from Germany in German. It was just really cool. I was geeking out. My boss, when the car came. Like, it came coming around the corner for work. I was like, oh, and my boss was like, I knew you were going to wig out about this one. Because I just love, it's cool when, it's like, don't get me wrong, like, I like Volkswagens no matter what, but it's cool when you don't see shit very often. I mean, especially B4s, because in the States, B4 Passats weren't very common. They got, most of them, the VR6 ones, were all just killed to be donor cars. So they're not very common. They weren't very common here, really, at all. You can still sometimes see like Jettas and Mark III Golfs on the road. You never see Passats. It's literally 9 times out of 10, it's a fucking enthusiast who owns it. Or someone who loved theirs so much that they imported it from Germany. And that's that like 10% that happens to have one. That's the best part. That's what I love about this shit. And then, like I said, that's what was cool is we had a Mark I cabbie in the shop at the same time. And like looking at the motors, again, they're really similar. But like at the same time, very different on how they were set up. Because tomorrow actually, and then the other. So someone had. Damn.
My bad. I
sound
accidentally
like a bull.
kicked
Like a bull just ran into the wall.
I kicked the table. My bad.
Someone had replaced an ignition switch on the car, and on those you have to like completely remove everything on the steering column because the ignition switch and everything is part of like a ring setup that like. Cylinder ring setup that you have to like pop out, and someone had boogered and like destroyed the metal on it. because usually you have to like air hammer them off. And so because they boogered up the metal, it ate up the clock spring. So we were like, well, we have Mark III bodies. Let's try and see what happens. Put the clock spring in. It worked, no problem. But it kept throwing a fault. It kept throwing like a resistance too high. So we were like, oh, well, like quote unquote, it would work, but that's safety. That's an airbag in a 90s car. So the guy actually he ordered a clock spring from Germany and got it over here. And we're probably going to be putting that in tomorrow. But I just thought it was really cool. It's just really cool. I love shit like that. I love the nitty gritty, just randomness of, because the other thing is, like for us in the States, this isn't a big deal, but like everywhere else in the world, most of the time, the bigger liter your vehicle is, the higher your taxes. So like VR6s weren't really that common across the pond. Like people 9 times out of 10 commuter sense didn't want them because I gotta pay more. So seeing the 1.8 for us was like, oh wow, this is cool. Never seen this. But over there, they're probably like, this is every day, bro. I see it all the time. But it was really, and the purple is like really just a touch. It is just, it's beautiful. And it has like a blue interior. Sorry, I need to shut up. It's just
purple with a blue interior.
Well, I don't want to say blue, but kind of like kind of violet, but like kind of sun-baked color. So it's kind of like
faded.
Faded, yeah, faded. That's the word. That's faded a little bit. So it's I would love to like, once we start doing like videos of everything on our podcast and our episodes, I'd love to, like, if I ever talked about the car again, I'd love to be able to show pictures and a video of it, just because this car is super cool.
Yeah.
But another cool thing, just sorry, to a shout out to my shop, we just recently, like a close friend of ours, Bray, just did a bunch of video shoots for us. And he was actually really cool. He hooked me up. He took pictures of my other car that I'm selling. So instead of having my crappy doo-doo pictures, I actually have like better looking pictures of the car.
Nice.
Yeah, I will admit, I really wish I would have cleaned it first, because like in one of the pictures you can see a rag, and the other pictures you can just see a leaf sitting on the floor. But oh man, yeah, I cannot wait to get rid of that car. That car pisses me off, man. It's funny because I was talking to my wife the other day, and she was like, how much time? She was like, how much money do you think you spent in that car? And I was like, not really a lot. She was like, but if it was like flipped to like somebody paying you to do it, and I was like, the labor is what would be the most expensive part, because I've had to do so much little shit. I've had to tear this apart to find out it was wrong, and then grab this component and get, like, I finally got the seatbelt. Like it actually is a good car now. Mm-hmm. It just needs an alignment.
Yeah.
But oh my God, do I hate that car. I hate that car with a passion.
Word.
Because if I was right, how I told you it overheated that one time? Mm. Yeah, I literally, after I finished an oil change and going through like just all the little bits and everything, it hasn't overheated since. It's just because it's sat. This car just loves to piss me off. This car just loves to aggravate me. Well, I think with that, we'll probably wrap it up for the day. Yeah. Kind of a light episode. Hopefully, again, we are trying to get more equipment and more stuff set up to do videos, and we literally have a roster and lineup of people to do guests. We've been putting in the work, the talking face to face work. It's just we have to get this shit. We have to legitimately just get the equipment now.
Yeah, we don't have the facilities for that, big man.
I don't have the facilities for that, big man. But hopefully soon we will be being able to do videos, because that's a really big thing that we really want to do, because we're both very lively people in how we do stuff and how we react to things. And again, we want to show off the friends we have on here and people who come on and say their stories and things like that. We don't want it just to be all voices. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we'll have that soon. Bodie, is there anything else you need to add? Want to add?
Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, at YouTube. Braindead Media. Oh, and YouTube. Make sure to follow us on or subscribe on YouTube.
And we are just recently on
Spotify.
Hell yeah! Thank you, Bo.
Yeah. So we got that worked out. So you can listen to this podcast on Spotify.
All the episodes are on there. This one's probably going to take usually got to get it in, got to get it set, edited, and then we'll get that on there. But I think right now we have all 5 episodes.
Yeah, we
right?
have all 5 episodes on Spotify. If you ever want to just listen to the rest of them. While you're working, popping your butt in.
While you're sleeping, while you're eating, while you're drinking,
while you're
taking
a
piss,
cops. Whatever situation you're in that you want to listen to us 2 goobers rant about stupid shit.
While you're outside punching squirrels, I don't know. You do you. I'm not a hater. I respect it. So with that, we're gonna sign out today. Hit me up at _GageFox_ at Instagram and as Bodie said, hit up all of our Brain Dead accounts all over the place. YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. Hit it up.
Yeah.
Bye.
Adios.
Adios.